Welcome to the Terra Sano Aggregates Orientation. This training introduces our health, safety, and environmental expectations. Whether you're an employee, subcontractor, or visitor, the goal is the same. Everyone goes home safe every day. Pay attention, take notes, and ask questions if anything is unclear. Part 1, Leadership. Our leadership structure supports accountability at every level. Know who you report to and who to contact for safety or operational concerns. Supervisors and managers are here to guide and support you, but safety is a shared responsibility. Our health and safety policy defines Terra Sano's commitment to protect workers, the public, and the environment. Review this policy on the office bulletin board or in the health and safety manual. Every decision we make should reflect that commitment. At Terra Sano, safety comes first. We protect the physical, psychological, and social well-being of every worker, contractor, and visitor. It's our top priority. Safety is a condition of employment. It will never be sacrificed to save time or cost. Every project begins with the expectation of zero injuries. Safety is a shared responsibility. It takes teamwork between management, supervisors, and workers. Management is committed to providing safe equipment, facilities, and training, and to enforce rules fairly. Employees are responsible for following safe work practices, reporting hazards, and supporting one another. Finally, through regular inspections, hazard assessments, and reviews, we continuously improve our program and keep our work sites strong and safe. At Terra Sano, every project starts with the expectation of zero injuries. We focus on prevention, recognizing and stopping unsafe conditions or behaviors before they cause harm. Through regular inspections and through investigations, we identify hazards, correct problems, and learn from each event. Safety success relies on cooperation and open communication between management and workers. Finally, our goal is not to only meet OHS regulation and legislation, but to exceed it, setting a high standard for safety and professionalism across all Terra Sano operations. Management leads by example. They plan work, provide resources, ensure staff development, and maintain open communication with crews and clients. They are accountable for quality, productivity, and above all, safety. The employer is responsible for providing a safe and healthy workplace for every employee and subcontractor. We maintain a formal health and safety management system that includes inspections, hazard assessments, and regular audits. Safe tools, PPE, and competent supervision are always provided so work can be performed safely and efficiently. When incidents or near misses occur, we investigate quickly and apply corrective actions. The employer meets and exceeds Alberta OHS legislation, develops clear safe work practices, and maintains strong emergency procedures. Above all, management leads by example, demonstrating that safety, accountability, and leadership start at the top. Supervisors are the bridge between management and workers. They assign daily tasks, monitor quality, ensure the right tools and PPE are on site, and provide coaching and mentorship. Supervisors must address safety issues immediately and model professional behavior for their crews. Supervisors must enforce safety policies, confirm worker competency, and make sure hazards are identified and controlled. They conduct inspections, investigate incidents, and follow up on corrective actions. Leading by example means taking safety seriously every day. Worker rights and responsibilities. Every worker in Alberta has three basic rights: the right to know about hazards, the right to participate in safety, and the right to refuse unsafe work. If something does not feel right, stop and report it. Your safety comes first. Communication keeps our safety system alive. Report hazards, near misses, and incidents right away. Take part in inspections, meetings, and toolbox talks. Stay connected through our shared Google Drive and bulletin board. It's how we all stay informed and involved. Show up fit for duty, prepared and focused. Follow company policies, use tools correctly, and protect yourself and your team. Safety is everyone's responsibility. Lead by example on every task. Workers must follow the Occupational Health and Safety Act, regulation, and code. Use required PPE, report hazards, and participate in safety training. Refrain from unsafe behavior or harassment. Respect is part of safety. Violence and harassment have no place at work. Everyone has the right to a respectful and safe environment, free from bullying, intimidation, or discrimination. Concerns are taken seriously and handled confidentially. If something doesn't feel right, report it. We all share the responsibility to treat each other with respect and maintain a positive professional culture. Every person has the right to a safe and respectful workplace, free from intimidation or abuse. Stress and fatigue are also recognized as workplace hazards, and help is available if you need it. Violence includes any act or threat of physical or psychological harm, even domestic issues that spill into work. Harassment includes unwelcome comments, jokes, or behavior that cause offense or humiliation. Everyone deserves respect and dignity at work. If you experience or witness violence or harassment, report it immediately to your supervisor or Health and Safety Committee representative. Your report will be investigated confidentially, and retaliation will not be tolerated. Serious incidents may also be referred to police when required. Workers play an active role in maintaining a respectful workplace. Report issues right away, participate in investigations honestly, and treat all coworkers with respect. Remember, help is available, including Alberta's mental health helpline. Psychosocial hazards. Psychosocial hazards affect mental health and well-being. They include stress, fatigue, trauma, violence, and workload pressure. These factors can lead to burnout or absenteeism, but by recognizing and controlling them, we protect both morale and performance. Risk factors include work factors, scheduling, unclear roles, workload, and culture. Environmental factors can also include noise, lighting, or remote work. Personal factors can include health, coping skills, and family life. Fatigue, stress, and burnout can lead to poor decisions, slower reactions, and workplace incidents. Encourage open communication, take breaks when needed, and ask for help early. A healthy, balanced crew performs better, stays more alert, and supports each other through challenges. Caring for mental health is a key part of caring for safety. We control psychosocial hazards the same way as physical ones. Eliminate or reduce them through fair work design, quiet spaces, clear roles, and support. Training, recognition, and counseling access all help keep our workplace healthy. All work must comply with provincial occupational health and safety laws. The OHS Act, regulation, and code describe what employers, supervisors, and workers are required to do. A copy of the OHS manual is always available for reference and will be on our shared Google Drive, which is accessed through scanning the QR code posted on the company bulletin board. Knowing the legal requirements helps everyone understand why procedures and paperwork are essential part of safe work. I'll give you a moment to review the relevant legislation. Other examples: the Canadian Human Rights Act, the Emergency Management Act, Dangerous Goods and Transportation and Handling Act, Safety Codes Act, the Vehicle Equipment Regulation, Vehicle Inspection Regulation, Workplace Compensation, Canadian Standards Association, and the Alberta Labor Code, as well as a reminder regarding the Alberta Occupational Health and Safety Act Reg and Code, which is available on our Google Drive. Part 2, Public, Visitors, and Contractors. Subcontractors are responsible for working safely and in compliance with all legislation and site rules. Before work begins, make sure your WCB coverage and insurance are current and that your operators are trained and competent. Follow all safe work practices and communicate with the pit supervisor if conditions change or hazards appear. Report incidents and near misses right away. Early reporting prevents serious injury. If you encounter an unsafe condition or imminent danger, stop work immediately until it can be corrected. Subcontractors play a key role in safe pit operations. Before starting work, make sure all required paperwork and certifications are submitted and up to date. Inspect your equipment daily and report any defects right away. Follow the direction of the pit supervisor, respect haul routes and load limits, and maintain radio or visual communication at all times. Safety in a pit depends on coordination. Operate professionally, stay alert, and lead by example so everyone goes home safe. All visitors must follow site safety rules, must wear their required PPE, stay in designated areas, and report unsafe conditions to a supervisor. Visitors must be escorted when needed and set the same professional example as everyone else. Visitors should avoid distracting workers or interfering with operations. If a visitor must cross an active area, stop the task and guide them safely through. Clear communication between the escort, operator, and visitor prevents near misses and ensures control of the work area. Visitors must sign in and out and wear appropriate PPE and stay in designated areas. Self-employed persons, clients, and other site participants also share responsibility for safety. They must comply with all safety expectations, report hazards, and cooperate with company staff when on site. Drivers, service crews, or delivery personnel may arrive without full orientation. They must still follow posted signage, stay in safe zones, and obey supervisor direction. Approach any unfamiliar person to verify they have checked in. Maintaining control of who is on site protects everyone. General rules and progressive discipline. Some examples, but not limited to the following general rules. No smoking except in designated areas. No running. No horseplay, fighting, gambling, or firearms. No intoxicating substances. Seatbelts must always be worn in vehicles and equipment. Maintain good housekeeping. Report all incidents, injuries, illness, and near misses immediately to your supervisor. Protect company property from theft, vandalism, or misuse. The progressive disciplinary process is designed to protect workers, clients, and the integrity of the site, not to punish anyone. If a concern arises, it starts with a verbal discussion to correct behavior and provide coaching. If issues continue, a written warning follows, and serious or repeated violations can lead to suspension or termination. Our goal is to correct unsafe actions early, reinforce accountability, and maintain a safe, professional work environment for everyone on site. Part 3, Health and Safety Committee. Currently, there is no Health and Safety Committee as we have less than 5 full-time employees. No review. Training is the foundation of safe and efficient operations. Every worker, subcontractor, and driver on site must be trained and competent for the tasks they perform. This section will cover the types of training required, how competency is verified, and the ongoing refreshers that keep our team safe and compliant. Remember, training isn't just a checkbox. It's how we build awareness, confidence, and consistency in every part of our work. Our training path has 5 key stages: orientation, job-specific hands-on training, certification courses, toolbox meetings, and refresher training. This structure keeps every worker's skills current and ensures we meet core and OHS requirements year-round. Just as an absolute reminder, we do conduct scheduled health and safety meetings monthly, which are company-wide. We will also host an annual review and training session annually, which is also too company-wide. Before starting work, all workers and subcontractors must complete the orientation process. This includes submitting your payroll, worker information forms, and if you drive company or personal vehicles for work, a copy of your valid driver's license. During orientation, we'll review essential safety documents, including our health and safety policy, company rules, PPE requirements, emergency procedures, and field level hazard assessments. We'll also cover safe work practices, mobile equipment operation, WMS, and hazardous materials information system, and reporting procedures for incidents and near misses. Completing this checklist confirms you understand the expectations and responsibilities for working safely on any site. Hands-on training is where we put safety into practice. Before any worker or operator is considered competent, they must complete and demonstrate understanding in key areas of the job. That includes proper use and inspection of PPE, site orientation with muster points and emergency equipment, and daily review of field level hazard assessment, updating them whenever conditions or tasks change. Workers also review safe work practices like ladder use, housekeeping, and line of fire awareness, along with any task-specific procedures such as equipment operation or material handling. We make sure everyone understands their emergency role and how to report near misses or hazards right away. A supervisor signs off only when a worker has shown full understanding and can safely perform the task on their own. WMS training is required for all employees and refreshed annually. You must know how to identify hazardous products, read labels and safety data sheets, and use controls to protect yourself from chemical exposure. Our WMS module includes a presentation and short quiz. It covers labeling, SDS access, storage, and handling of controlled products, all accessible through our shared drive. Remember, every worker is responsible for safe chemical handling. Let's move along to part 5, hazard identification and assessment. Hazard assessments are the foundation of every safe workday. We use 3 levels to make sure risks are identified and controlled before work begins. A formal hazard assessment looks at overall company operations. It's reviewed yearly or whenever an incident or inspection points to new hazards. A site-specific hazard assessment is completed at the start of each new project to identify location-based risks like traffic flow, ground stability, or environmental exposure. And the field level hazard assessment, or FLHA, is completed daily by workers on site. It must be reviewed at toolbox meetings and updated anytime conditions, equipment, or tasks change. Every worker is responsible for reviewing and signing the FLHA before starting work. Know your hazards. Common physical hazards include slips, trips, and falls, working at heights, line of fire, noise, vibration, manual handling, and ergonomics. Knowing what can hurt you is the first step to preventing incidents. Some examples of chemical and environmental hazards: dust, fumes, adhesives, sealants, propane, fuel and hydraulic systems, fire, hot work, working in extreme weather conditions, heat and cold emergencies and stress, UV exposure and sunlight. Heavy equipment and vehicle movement create constant sight hazards. Stay visible, use radios, and make eye contact with operators before entering work zones. Follow designated travel routes and never assume a driver sees you. Excavations and soft ground can collapse. Maintain safe berms and watch your footing near edges. Loading and unloading materials requires coordination and patience. One distraction can cause a serious incident. Treat all powered mobile equipment as live and keep a safe distance at all times. The crushing plant has some of the highest hazard potential on site. Keep guards and covers in place and never bypass or remove them. Before performing maintenance or clearing blockages, isolate and lock out all energy sources. Use caution around belts, pulleys, and rotating shafts. Loose clothing or gloves can catch. Maintain housekeeping and report issues with dust suppression or lighting right away. Never enter the crusher or conveyor area unless the system is fully de-energized and tagged out. Not all hazards are physical. Some affect our mental focus, decision making, or overall well being. Fatigue and stress can lower awareness and increase mistakes, especially when operating equipment or working long shifts. Psychosocial hazards like poor communication, pressure, or conflict also impact safety and teamwork. Poor housekeeping or a negative work culture can quickly create unsafe habits. And while confined spaces are rare in pit operations, the same rule applies. If a task involves restricted entry or limited airflow, stop and get authorization before entry. Safety depends on both mindset and environment, so take care of yourself and your crew. Environmental hazards in pit operations change constantly with weather, dust, and ground conditions. In hot weather, heat and sun can cause fatigue and dehydration. Take water breaks often and use shade when possible. Cold or wet conditions bring traction hazards on ramps and walkways. Use proper footwear and watch for icy buildup. Wind is another factor. Secure tarps, tools, and materials. And be cautious when loading trucks near the crusher. Noise and vibration are continuous in the pit. Wearing hearing protection and rotate tasks where you can. Dust and exhaust from crushers and equipment affect air quality. Use respirators when needed and make sure dust control systems are working. Always review environmental conditions during the morning toolbox or FLHA so the crew can adjust before starting work. Every pit operation involves a number of high-risk tasks that require planning, training, and hazard control. Excavation and ground work include tasks near pit faces, slopes, and high walls where ground stability must always be checked. Bench scaling and dump point safety are critical to prevent collapse or rollover. Mobile and powered equipment such as loaders, trucks, and dozers introduce line of fire and blind spot hazards. Always maintain communication and use designated traffic routes. Crusher and plant operations carry added energy hazards. Always lock out before clearing blockages or maintenance, and watch for moving belts, pulleys, and rotating shafts. Material handling, lifting, and hot work activities like welding or fueling, you must follow proper procedures, fire watch controls, and spill response readiness. These are all considered high hazard tasks and require trained, competent workers. Additional high risk work includes exposure to energy sources, environmental conditions, and emergency situations. Electrical hazards, such as overhead lines or temporary power systems, require constant awareness and isolation control. Environmental and weather hazards can change quickly. Dust, heat, cold, wind, or wildlife may all impact safety. Review them daily during toolbox talks. Confined or restricted spaces, like entering a crusher or conveyor housing, require testing, ventilation, and lockout before entry. Good housekeeping and work culture are just as important. Slips, trips, clutter, or fatigue can cause serious injury. Finally, every worker must know their emergency response role, how to report, evacuate, and assist if an incident occurs. These controls are what keeps everyone safe when performing high hazard tasks. Critical controls are the actions that prevent serious injury or fatality. Every high risk task in the pit must begin with energy isolation. Lockout and tag out before service or maintenance. Always use spotters and maintain radio contact when moving equipment or working near power lines. Hot work requires a fire watch, and workers must remain until the area is verified safe. Proper PPE, WMS awareness, and daily FOHAs keep hazards in check. Only competent, authorized workers should perform critical risk work. Finally, follow safe work practices, know your emergency procedures, and never take shortcuts. These controls save lives every day. Risk assessment. Know your risk. Every task is evaluated for risk before work begins. This chart shows how we assess each hazard by combining its frequency and severity. Along the left, frequency ranges from frequent, meaning it happens often, to extremely remote, where it's unlikely to occur. Across the top, severity runs from imminent danger, where serious injury or fatality could result, down to negligible, where the impact is minimal. When you cross these two factors, you find the risk level. Red zones are high risk and require immediate controls or a change in the procedure. Yellow represents manageable risk with safe practices and supervision. Green means the risk is low and acceptable once basic controls are in place. Every worker should understand this chart. It's how we decide which hazards need the most attention to keep everyone safe. Complete your FLHA daily before work. Review it at a toolbox meeting and update it as conditions change. This process ensures hazards are always being identified and controlled, not ignored. The 5 steps are: recognize, assess, control, document, and follow up. Use this process every day on every job. It's the foundation of our safety system. Let's look at an example of how a field level hazard assessment is applied during equipment operation. The task involves operating heavy equipment where wind and nearby activity can create hazards such as loose materials or flying debris. The potential risk includes eye injuries or struck by incidents giving this task a high-risk score of 1B. To control the hazard, workers first secure or remove loose materials that could become airborne. Tarps or screens may be installed to reduce wind exposure, and the crew should position themselves upwind whenever possible. Operators wear proper PPE, such as safety glasses with side shields, and supervisors review the FLHA on site, checking that controls remain effective throughout the day. Let's take a moment to review what we've covered so far. Safety is a team effort, and everyone has a part to play. Supervisors and managers are responsible for ensuring workers are trained and competent. They enforce PPE use, promote safe work practices, and investigate incidents to prevent reoccurring. Employees must follow all training and safe job procedures, use PPE correctly, and report hazards or unsafe conditions immediately. Subcontractors and visitors are expected to follow site rules, wear required PPE, and communicate any hazards they notice to a supervisor. This recap ties together the key responsibilities that keep every site safe and efficient. Part 6, Hazard Control. Now that we've reviewed everyone's responsibility, let's move into Safe Work Practices, or SWPs. Safe work practices outline the standard methods and expectations for completing tasks safely on site. They're designed to control the most common hazards, provide consistent procedures, and protect both workers and equipment. Every worker is expected to understand and follow the applicable SWPs for their job. These practices are the foundation of safe, efficient operations, and they're reinforced through daily toolbox talks, FLHAs, and supervision. Safety starts with you. When working outdoors, conditions can change quickly, so preparation is everything. Come to work ready for all types of weather, from hot, dusty days to snow, ice, and high winds. Dress in layers and bring the right gear for the conditions. Drink water regularly throughout your shift, at least 4 liters in heat, and remember to stay hydrated even in winter. Wear weather-appropriate PPE, sun protection in summer, and insulated gloves, boots, and traction aids in icy conditions. Use the buddy system. Look out for your coworkers during extreme temperatures or long shifts. Watch for wildlife on roads and in active areas. Stay alert, avoid sudden movements, and report any sightings immediately. Report changing weather, visibility, or unsafe ground conditions right away. And always be aware of your surroundings. Equipment movement, terrain, and weather can all change in moments. Motor vehicle operation. Key risks: backing up, speed, and proper use of seatbelts. When operating any vehicle, whether on or off site, your only task while driving is to drive. Stay alert, stay focused, and eliminate distractions completely. No texting, phone use, or multitasking of any kind. Always complete your pre-trip inspection, wear your seatbelt, and adjust for site conditions such as dust, poor visibility, or uneven ground. Keep your speed appropriate for the area, use designated routes, and maintain full control of the vehicle at all times. Remember, safe driving protects you, your crew, and everyone sharing the work site and the roadways. Drive company vehicles as if they were your own. Always complete vehicle checks, wear your seatbelt, and stay alert. Use spotters when backing and report any damage immediately. Safety starts behind the wheel. Backing incidents are one of the most common causes of vehicle damage and injury on work sites. In fact, 1 in 4 vehicle incidents happen while backing up. Always follow the STAR method: stop, think, act, and review. Before you move, take a moment to plan your route And whenever possible, position your vehicle so you can pull through or drive forward instead of reversing. Before backing up, adjust your mirrors and seat for full visibility. Clear off any frost, dirt, or snow from mirrors and windows, and take a moment to review your surroundings. Never rely on only your mirrors or your backup camera. If your line of sight is blocked, always use a spotter. Remember, a few extra seconds of caution can prevent a serious incident. Towing must always be performed by trained and authorized personnel. Before beginning, inspect all chains, ropes, and connection points to confirm they're in good condition and properly rated for the job. Communication is critical. Maintain clear visual or radio contact between all operators. Ensure the area is clear of workers before applying tension. And always pull in as straight a line as possible to reduce side stress. Never stand or walk near a loaded tow line or between vehicles during towing. Avoid sudden jerks or aggressive acceleration, as this can cause equipment failure or injury. If you notice any damage or strain on towing gear, stop immediately and reassess. Remember, conduct an FLHA and follow the manufacturer's limits and your company's towing procedures every time. Spotters are a key part of safe equipment operation. Anytime a vehicle or piece of heavy equipment is moving in tight areas, the spotter and operator work as one team. Before starting any movement, take a moment to hold a quick meeting to review and agree on hand signals, positioning, and radio channels. Clear communication before the task starts prevents confusion once equipment is in motion. During the task, the spotter must stay in full view of the operator and maintain eye contact or radio contact at all times. If that contact is lost, the operator stops immediately. Remember, two sets of eyes save lives, and clear communication keeps everyone safe. Fueling is one of the most routine tasks on site, but also one of the most dangerous if not done properly. Always shut off the engine, extinguish any ignition sources, and ensure you're properly grounded before starting. Never smoke, use cell phones, or create sparks near fueling areas. Check for leaks, damaged hoses, or fittings before every use. Make sure the nozzle is securely inserted and never leave fueling unattended. Clean up any spills right away and report larger leaks immediately. When fueling in cold weather, be extra cautious of static buildup. Ground your equipment before refueling. Remember, fueling safely means taking your time, paying attention, and treating every drop like a potential ignition source. Before fueling, shut off engine and allow equipment to cool. No smoking, open flames, or hot work nearby. Park on level ground with brakes applied. During fueling, use approved fuel containers and pumps. Keep nozzle in contact with the tank to prevent static sparks. Do not overfill. Leave space for expansion. After fueling, wipe up any spills immediately. Secure fuel caps tightly. Store containers in designated ventilated areas. Working at height is one of the leading causes of serious injuries in construction. Before starting, identify every task where a fall could occur. Even a few feet can cause life-changing injuries. Use fall protection anytime there's a risk of falling 3 meters or more, or whenever site conditions require it. Inspect your harness, lanyard, and connectors before every use. Make sure they're in good condition and properly fitted. Keep your anchor point directly above you. Maintain 3 points of contact when climbing and avoid leaning or overreaching. Always use guardrails, travel restraint, or fall arrest systems as required, and never bypass fall protection for convenience. Every time you climb, stay focused. Working safely at height means planning ahead and staying connected. Many crusher and plant tasks involve working at heights, whether accessing screens, catwalks, or conveyors. Anytime work is performed 3 meters or higher, fall protection is mandatory. Use a harness and lifeline or other approved system like guardrails or restraints. A fall protection plan must be written and reviewed before work begins, and only trained, authorized workers are permitted to perform these tasks. Always inspect your gear and anchor points before climbing. Never work at height alone. Maintain communication at all times. And if conditions change, high winds, icy surfaces, or poor visibility, stop and reassess before continuing. Remember, one slip or moment of complacency can cost a life. Plan ahead, stay secured, and stay alert. When working at height, the best protection is prevention. Always use guardrails or restraint systems whenever possible. If a harness or lanyard is needed, make sure it's in good condition and connected to an approved anchor point, never to handrails or pipes. Maintain 3 points of contact when climbing and stay within your restrained zones. Never lean or reach beyond guardrails. After work, store your gear properly and report any damage immediately. Remember, the safest fall protection is preventing the fall. Stay restrained, stay secure, and stay aware. Before using any ladder, inspect it carefully for damage, bends, or missing parts. Follow the 4-to-1 rule. For every 4 feet of height, set the base 1 foot out. Make sure the ladder extends at least 3 feet above the landing. Always face the ladder when climbing and keep 3 points of contact, 2 hands and 1 foot, or 2 feet and 1 hand. Never carry tools in your hands. Use a tool belt or rope instead. And remember, don't stand on the top steps, don't overreach, and never use a damaged ladder. Propane is extremely flammable. Always handle it with care. Before connecting or using a cylinder, inspect it for leak, rust, or damage. Make sure fittings are tight and valves are closed when not in use. Store propane upright and secured, away from heat, sparks, or open flames. When transporting cylinders, keep them ventilated, never inside a closed vehicle. Remember, treat propane with respect. A small leak or spark can cause a major incident. When working with propane, it's important to understand the hazards. The biggest risks include fire or explosion from leaks or ignition sources, and burns from torch flame or heated parts. Damaged hoses or fittings can cause gas leaks, while cylinders exposed to heat or impact can rupture under pressure. In enclosed spaces, propane can displace oxygen, leading to suffocation. Always stay out of the line of fire, especially near regulators or pressure releases, and treat every cylinder as if it is live. Housekeeping. Good housekeeping is one of the simplest ways to prevent incidents and keep the site running smoothly. Poor cleanup or clutter can lead to trips, falls, and injuries, equipment damage, and even fire or environmental hazards from leaks or spills. Keep walkways, stairs, and platforms free of debris and remove buildup from around crushers and conveyors. Always store tools, hoses, and oils properly, clean spills up right away, and dispose of waste in the correct bins. End every shift with a quick cleanup. A few minutes at the end of the day prevents downtime and keeps everyone safe tomorrow. Every worker is responsible for keeping their area clean, organized, and safe. Always clean as you go and report any spills, leaks, or unsafe conditions right away to your supervisor. At the end of each shift, take part in cleanup and inspections and make sure all tools and equipment are returned to their proper storage. Communicate with your team when materials are being moved or disposed of, and never block access to fire extinguishers, spill kits, or travel routes. These small actions help everyone stay safe and keep the site running efficiently. Stay out of the line of fire. That means any path a moving object or tool could take. Use tool belts. Never throw or slide materials. And keep clear of suspended loads. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. Line of fire hazards exist anytime you place yourself between a source of energy and a potential impact point. Common examples including standing too close to operating crushers or conveyors, working between mobile equipment and fixed structures, or being near pinch points, swing areas, and flying debris. Serious injuries can also occur from shifting material, hydraulic line failures, or pressurized releases during maintenance. To stay safe, always maintain eye contact and clear communication before approaching equipment. Keep a safe distance from swing zones and elevated loads, and never enter a loading area without operator clearance. Lock out and verify zero energy before servicing equipment, and always look up, down, and around before moving into any work zone. Awareness and communication are your best defenses against line of fire injury. Working in aggregate operations can be hazardous, with moving equipment, variable ground conditions, and constant activity. The most important safety practice is staying alert. Be aware of heavy equipment traffic, flying debris, uneven ground, and changing weather. Every person on site must take responsibility for maintaining awareness and communication to ensure a safe working environment for everyone. Everyone on site must attend orientation and follow posted signage at all times. Always follow the directions of your supervisor or spotter and maintain clear communication before entering or crossing active work zones. Come to work fit for duty, free from drugs, alcohol, and fatigue. And finally, stop and report any unsafe acts, conditions, or near misses immediately. Speaking up keeps the whole team safe. Before starting work, complete daily pre-use checks on all mobile and plant equipment. Inspect tires, brakes, alarms, lights, seat belts, and all safety devices. Make sure guards, fire extinguishers, and first aid kits are in place and ready. Tag and report any defective equipment. Never operate it until it's repaired. Confirm housekeeping and clear access routes. Then review hazards and controls on your FLHA before you begin any work. Safe work begins with good footing and body positioning. Keep hands, feet, and body parts clear of moving components and pinch points. Always use 3 points of contact when climbing and post guards or spotters at crossing or dump locations. Use seat belts at all times and lower attachments before leaving the cab. Lock out and tag out before greasing, cleaning, or maintenance. Use mechanical aids or team lifts for heavy loads. And never bypass safety devices or alarms. Be aware of changing ground conditions, soft shoulders, slopes, or uneven terrain. Maintain berms to proper height and stay 1 truck length back from the dump edges. Control dust and noise using suppression systems or PPE. Adjust for the weather. Ice, rain, heat, or reduced visibility all affect safety. Watch for wildlife and avoid restricted areas. Never work beneath suspended loads and always follow the site traffic management and radio procedures. Around powered mobile equipment, every worker plays a part in safety. Always wear your required PPE and know your task, site hazards, and emergency procedures. Maintain eye contact and clear communication with operators. Keep your work area clean and participate in toolbox talks and FLHA reviews daily. Report hazards or damaged equipment immediately and respect exclusion zones around operating machinery. Stay alert, stay visible, and look out for your crew. Powered mobile equipment includes loaders, skid steers, dozers, excavators, and other heavy machines used for material handling and earthwork. These machines are essential for production, but they are also one of the highest risk activities on any site. Always stay alert, maintain eye contact with operators, and follow established traffic control and communication procedures. Again, only trained, competent, and authorized workers may operate powered mobile equipment. Supervisors must verify proof of competency, such as a forklift or telehandler ticket. Unauthorized workers are never permitted to use or move equipment under any circumstances. Operators must be fit for duty, free from impairment, and follow all company procedures and OHS code requirements. Operators must complete a full pre-use inspection before starting equipment each day. Check fluids, tires, hydraulics, seatbelts, alarms, and safety devices. If any defects are found, tag the unit as out of service until repairs are complete. Never bypass safety issues. Keep written records of all inspections, maintenance, and repairs. Always follow the manufacturer's manual and company inspection procedures. Seatbelts must be worn at all times when operating equipment. Never allow riders unless the equipment is specifically designed for passengers. Carry loads low and travel at safe speeds. Sudden turns or high lifts can cause tip overs. Maintain safe distances from power lines and obstacles, and always use a spotter if visibility is restricted. Check that reversing alarms and warning devices are working before each use. Never work under or near suspended or swinging loads. Block or support elevated components before working underneath them. Maintain exclusion zones. Pedestrians must always stay clear of operating equipment. Refuel safely. Shut off the engine and stay away from ignition sources while fueling. Be aware of environmental hazards like dust, fumes, noise, or icy or uneven surfaces that affect traction and visibility. Let's review these critical controls. Seatbelts on at all times. Only trained, competent, and authorized operators. Daily inspections must be completed visually and recorded quarterly. Keep your loads low and secured. Spotters must be used in restricted visibility areas. No unauthorized riders or workers are allowed in exclusion zones. Elevated parts must be blocked before work begins. And defective or damaged equipment must be tagged and removed from service immediately. Following these controls prevent serious incidents and keep everyone safe. Powered mobile equipment is one of the biggest killers on construction sites. These machines are powerful, fast, and often blind to what's around them. One distracted second is all it takes. Keep your head on a swivel. Constant awareness is your best protection. Use the 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 seconds, scan 20 feet around you for 20 seconds. Look for movement, hazards, or changes in the work zone. And remember the STAR method. Stop, think, then act, and reassess. Before you step into an equipment path or approach an operator, stop. Make eye contact before entering a work zone. Never assume they can see you. Stay visible, stay alert, and stay alive. Every worker has responsibilities when working around powered mobile equipment, not just the operator. Do not enter blind spots or approach a machine unless you're signaled to do so by the operator or the spotter. Make eye contact and wait for clear hand signals before entering the work zone. Stay out of exclusion zones and keep a safe distance from moving machinery at all times. And finally, report any unsafe acts, near misses, or equipment incidences immediately. Safety around heavy equipment is a team effort. Stay alert and visible. The articulating wheeled loader is one of the most versatile and powerful machines on site. Its jointed frame allows for tight turning and precise control. but also creates unique pinch points and rollover hazards. Operators must stay alert, maintain clear visibility, and follow all pre-use and traffic control procedures to ensure safe operation. Articulated loaders are powerful machines designed to move large volumes of material quickly. Because of their size and power, most hazards are directed toward nearby workers and equipment. Key critical tasks include pre-operation inspection, safe entry and exit, feeding crushers, creating stockpiles, loading trucks, handling materials, and maintaining the workplace. Each task must be performed carefully to prevent injury or equipment damage. Loader operators face multiple hazards during daily operation. There's a risk of rollover on uneven or soft ground, and articulation joints create dangerous pinch points. Never approach while in motion or during greasing. Blind spots around the bucket and rear wheels put pedestrians at risk. Traveling with a raised bucket reduces stability and visibility, and soft slopes or stockpile edges can collapse without warning. During loading, keep the bucket balanced and avoid overloading. Tipping can occur fast on uneven ground. Falling material from the bucket can strike the cab or nearby workers, and flying rocks or debris are common during dumping or feeding crushers. Always load slowly and be aware of your surroundings, and use spotters when visibility is limited. Before any maintenance or cleaning, ensure hydraulic systems are fully locked out and tagged. Never work under raised arms without using an approved support bar. Be cautious of hot engine surfaces and pressurized fluids, which can cause serious burns or injuries. A proper lockout procedure and awareness of energy hazards protect both the worker and the equipment. Safe operation starts before the machine moves. Conduct a full walk around and report defects immediately. Keep the bucket low during travel, especially on uneven ground, and always use horns and backup alarms in congested areas. Stay within marked haul routes, maintain berms, and apply the park brake. Lower the bucket and idle down before leaving the cab. Every one of these steps saves equipment and lives. Excavators are essential for production and aggregate mining. They dig, load, and shape the working face, feed the crusher, and maintain ramps and stockpiles. Operators must manage visibility, ground conditions, and machine stability at all times. Excavator tasks in a pit include digging, loading, and feeding materials safely. Operators must inspect their machine daily, monitor the workface, maintain stable ground, and communicate clearly with truck drivers and ground crews. The main operating hazards include struck by risks in swing radius, rollover on uneven ground, and reduced visibility around the machine. Always keep a safe distance from edges and maintain balanced control movements. When working the face or loading trucks, watch for sloughing or cracking in the material. Maintain safe positioning and communication with haul truck drivers. Never work under an overhanging face or swing the boom toward traffic areas. Before maintenance, lower all attachments, apply hydraulic lock, and isolate energy sources. Maintain 3 points of contact when entering or exiting. Never use hands to check for hydraulic leaks. Pressure can cause serious injury. Safe excavator operation depends on awareness, control, and communication. Perform a complete inspection before use, travel with the bucket low, and never approach an edge too closely. Always lower the boom and shut down properly before exiting the cab. The feeder loader plays a key role in plant operation, supplying a steady and controlled flow of material into the crusher. Loader operators must stay alert, maintain communication with the plant plant operator and monitor material size and consistency to avoid overloads or blockages. Every effort should be made to prevent oversized material or debris from entering the crusher feed hopper. Common causes of crusher stalls or blockages include mechanical or electrical failure, material jams or overfeeding. Metal, wood, or debris can also jam the system, along with buildup inside the crash box or chute. Regular monitoring helps identify these issues before they become hazardous. A stalled crusher should always be treated as loaded and hazardous. Before inspection, ensure the crusher is fully stopped, locked out, and tagged out. Confirm the area is clear of all personnel. Then inspect the crushing cavity only from below the crusher, never from above. This prevents serious injury from sudden material ejection. If a crusher becomes blocked, stop feeding material immediately. Remove excess buildup mechanically whenever possible. If hand removal is required, the crusher must be fully shut down and locked out first. Maintain stable footing, use proper tools and positioning, and never use hooks or wedges on a running crusher. Clearing a blockage safely requires patience and teamwork. Never take shortcuts. Crushing operations involve multiple high-energy hazards: mechanical motion, dust, noise, and flying material. Operators and ground crews must be fully trained, authorized, and follow strict procedures to prevent incidents. The plant operator is responsible for safe and efficient operation from inside the power van, while the groundman manages housekeeping and field safety. Key tasks include pre-operation inspections, startup and shutdown, safe material handling, blockage management, and regular maintenance. Every task must be done with communication between operator and loader. Only trained and authorized workers may operate and or maintain plant equipment. Never enter or reach into machinery while it's running. Always follow lockout and tagout before maintenance or clearing blockages. Keep guards, covers, and emergency stops functional at all times, and report any unsafe conditions right away. Clear communication between loader operators and ground personnel is critical for safety. Before startup, perform a walk around. Check belts, guards, and walkways. Inspect electrical panels, switches, and emergency stops, and check for leaks, spills, or buildup around conveyors. Confirm that fire extinguishers, eye wash stations, and spill kits are readily available. Good housekeeping and accurate reporting of any defects keep the plant operating safely. Okay, let's just review some safe work practices. Stay clear of rotating shafts, pulleys, and conveyors. Never clean, adjust, or grease equipment while it's running. Use proper tools, blocking, and supports during maintenance. Isolate, lockout, and verify zero energy before removing guards. Maintain good footing and 3 points of contact on stairs and platforms. Keep the control area organized and free of trip hazards. Stop work if visibility, communication, or safety systems are compromised. The pit and plant environment present multiple hazards. Control dust and noise exposure with proper PPE. Watch footing on uneven ground and stay clear of conveyors or chutes where material may fall. Manage fuel, fluids, and heat sources carefully, and always remain alert for wildlife or changing ground conditions. Every worker on site plays a key role in maintaining a safe and efficient operation. Follow all company safe job procedures for your assigned task. Participate in any field-specific or hands-on training before operating or maintaining equipment. Always use and maintain your PPE. Communicate hazards immediately and keep walkways clear. Report near misses and unsafe conditions and be proactive. If something changes or doesn't feel right, stop and reassess before continuing. Only trained and competent personnel may operate or maintain plant equipment. Lockout and tagout procedures must be completed and verified before any maintenance or blockage clearing. Guards, covers, and emergency stops must remain functional at all times. Never enter chutes, hoppers, or conveyors without proper isolation and confined space clearance. Maintain clear communication with the loader and ground crew, and ensure housekeeping prevents buildup of dust or debris. Unsafe or defective equipment must be tagged and removed from surface immediately. All operators and drivers are evaluated on hire after 3 months and every year to confirm ongoing competency. These reviews help ensure safe, consistent equipment operation and identify any additional training needs. Working in southern Alberta means encountering a wide variety of wildlife, from deer, elk, and coyotes to bears and cougars in certain regions. Wildlife activity can increase near construction sites, roadways, and forested areas, especially during dawn, dusk, or seasonal migration. Workers must stay alert, report sightings, and follow company procedures to reduce risks of encounters or vehicle collisions. Remember, wildlife are unpredictable. Never attempt to approach or feed any animal. Additional and more thorough wildlife awareness training will be conducted if animal activity or encounters become a concern in your work area. Stay alert during early morning and evening hours when animals are most active. Reduce bear attractants by following triple containment. Secure all food, garbage, and scented materials in sealed containers. Even small items like apple cores, sunflower seeds, or food wrappers can attract wildlife to your work area. Never leave food waste, drink containers, or lunch bags unsecured in vehicles or equipment. If wildlife is nearby, sound your horn or use your radio to alert others and allow the animal to leave undisturbed. Report all sightings or encounters immediately to your supervisor. Inspect the area before starting work and follow any additional site-specific wildlife procedures. Stay calm, stay aware, and help keep the worksite safe for everyone, including the wildlife. Training is job and site specific. Each worker is responsible for reviewing all safe job procedures and safe work practices available on the company shared Google Drive. Make sure you understand the procedures that apply to your tasks and ask questions if anything is unclear. Personal protective equipment, or PPE. Inspect your PPE daily. Ensure that it is clean, dry, and in good condition. Wear your basic task-specific gear, such as gloves, safety glasses, hearing protection, high visibility clothing. Replace damaged or worn items immediately. PPE only works if it's in good shape. Foot protection. Inspect daily before use. Alberta OHS Code Section 242, subsection 1 indicates if there is a danger of injury to a worker's feet, the worker must wear protective footwear that meets the requirements of CSA Standard Z195-14. Protective footwear in good condition, dry, no rips, missing laces, lifting soles, etc. Worn or damaged need to be repaired or replaced. When it's required, per work site hazard assessment for hazards that could cause foot injuries, such as falling or rolling objects, sharp objects, slippery or uneven surfaces, heavy equipment, chemical exposure, electrical hazards, or hot surfaces or molten material. Before using any fall protection equipment, you must inspect it thoroughly every single day and before each use. Alberta OHS Code 9 requires inspection whenever you're working at heights greater than 3 meters, which is 10 feet, or any time there's a risk of falling onto hazards below. Start with your full body harness. Check the webbing for cuts, burns, frays, or signs of mold. Look closely at the stitching. There should be no loose or broken threads. Inspect D-rings for cracks, rust, or deformation. And make sure buckles and adjusters move freely and hold properly. Finally, check that the labels are legible and intact. If not, the harness must be removed from service. Next, look at your lanyard. The shock absorber must not be deployed, torn, or previously used. Inspect the snap hooks or carabiners for cracks, corrosion, or distortion. They must close and lock automatically. Check the rope or webbing for cuts or damage from heat, and confirm that all tags are clear and readable. For connectors, make sure gates snap shut securely and that the body is free from rust, cracks, or wear. All connectors must show a visible load rating and manufacturer marking. Inspect anchors and anchor points for cracks, rust, or fatigue. They must be securely mounted and rated for at least 5,000 pounds per worker, unless designed by an engineer as part of the system. Confirm that the inspection tag is current and that anchors are tested and replaced as required. Finally, review the general requirements. Inspection logs must be up to date for any defective or questionable gear that must be tagged out and removed from service immediately. Only trained and competent workers are allowed to perform these inspections. Your fall protection system is only as strong as its weakest part. Take the time to inspect it properly. Your life depends on it. Inspections and maintenance, part 7. Inspections are a key part of prevention. We check offices, shops, vehicles, tools, and work sites on a regular schedule to catch hazards before they cause incidents. If you notice anything unsafe, damaged, or missing, report it immediately to your supervisor or health and safety committee rep. Don't wait for the next inspection. Everyone has the power to prevent incidents. Office and shop inspections are done quarterly by supervisors and annually by senior management. Work sites receive formal quarterly inspections and informal monthly reviews. Vehicles, tools, and fire extinguishers all follow specific inspection intervals listed in our health and safety manual and posted on the bulletin board. I'll give you a moment to review those frequencies now. Moving on to part 8, emergency management. Emergency response plan and training. Our emergency response plan outlines what to do during injuries, fires, spills, or severe weather. Every worker must know the muster point, key contacts, and their role during an emergency. Every crew operates under an emergency response plan that meets Alberta OHS requirements. The purpose of this plan is simple: to make sure we can respond quickly and safely to an emergency on site. Whether it's an injury, fire, fall, spill, or severe weather event, every worker needs to know how to act and who to contact. The plan protects not just our team, but also the public, property, and the environment. It applies to everyone: employees, subcontractors, and visitors, especially those working in higher risk areas like near heavy equipment, on uneven ground, or at height. Emergencies in the pit can include injuries, fires, vehicle collisions, fuel or oil spills, lightning or high winds, and even violence or threats. And in our environment, we also need to be alert for things like ground instability, material slides, or being caught between equipment or stockpiles. Knowing what to do and acting fast makes all the difference in keeping everyone safe. Every worker plays a role in emergency preparedness, and that starts with knowing the key protective measures we have in place. Fully stocked first aid kits are available on site, as well as eye wash stations, and emergency contact numbers are posted in the trailer on the safety board, as well as on our shared Google Drive. At least one certified first aider is always on site, as required by Alberta OHS Schedule 2. Fire extinguishers are mounted on equipment, trucks, and in key buildings, and spill kits are set up near fuel and storage areas. Everyone needs to know where the muster point is. That's where we meet and account for all workers in an emergency. And remember, all workers are trained in basic emergency response, so stay calm, act quickly, and follow your supervisor's direction if an incident occurs. During any emergency, every worker has specific responsibilities to help keep the site safe and organized. First, always know where your muster point is located. That's your go-to area if you need to evacuate. Report all incidents or near miss immediately to your supervisor so the right response can begin. Follow the directions of first aiders and supervisors at all times. They'll coordinate the response and make sure everyone is accounted for. In some cases, you may be the first aider. Never put yourself in further danger. If it's not safe to help, move to a secure location. If you can assist safely, help with crowd control or guide others to the muster point. Once you arrive at the muster point, stay there until you're cleared to leave. This helps ensure everyone is safe and accounted for. Critical response steps. Raise the alarm. Respond to injuries. Call 911 when needed, and control hazards only if it's safe. For spills, stop the source and contain it. For severe weather, stop work and take shelter until it's safe to continue. Violence, remove yourself and others from danger. Call 911 if needed, and notify your supervisor immediately. For fire, use fire extinguisher only if it's small and safe. Otherwise, evacuate to the muster point and call 911. Never re-enter unless you've been cleared by the fire department. When you hear an alarm or evacuation call, go straight to the muster point. Supervisors will take a head count. Stay there until you're officially told it's all clear. Know how to use a fire extinguisher. Remember the acronym PASS. Pull the pin. Aim to the base of the fire. Squeeze and sweep. Use only if the fire is small and your exit is clear. Ensure your exit is always behind you. If you're unsure, evacuate and call 911. First aid kits are located in all trucks, powered mobile equipment, and at the site trailer. The emergency eye wash station and blankets are kept at the site office or trailer. All full list of trained first aiders can be found on the shared Google Drive and posted on the office bulletin board located in the site trailer. Part 9, Incident Investigations. All incidents need to be reported immediately to your supervisor. Documentation is required for injuries, property damage, or near misses. It helps us learn and prevent repeats. A near miss is a warning. Report it the same way as an incident, even if no one was hurt and there was nothing damaged. It's an opportunity to correct hazards before they cause harm. Incident investigations. It is so important that we have an opportunity to investigate every incident and near miss by your supervisor, HSE advisor, and your health and safety committee rep. Together, they can identify the root cause and ensure corrective actions are put into place so that we can prevent future incidents. Part 10, Program Administration. Core HSE program activities. Our health and safety management system keeps the company core certified and compliant with Alberta OH&S. It covers hazard assessments, emergency drills, incident reporting, investigations, training, toolbox talks, safety meetings, and annual reviews, to name a few. Great job for making it this far. Now it's time to check your understanding with a quick health and safety quiz for Terra Sano aggregates. Remember, safety starts with you. Take your time and answer carefully. This helps confirm you understand the key safety practices we just reviewed. Question 1 through 3 covers worker rights and responsibilities. Question 4 to 6 covers hazard assessment and control. PPE and safe work practices, question 7 and question 8. Emergency response, question 9 through question 11. Question 12 and 13 cover incident reporting and investigation. Question 14 and 15 cover harassment and violence prevention. Inspection and continuous improvement, question number 16 and 17. Safety participation, question 18 and 19. Your final question will be open-ended. At Terra Sano, safety isn't just a rule, it's a shared responsibility. Every person on our team plays a vital role in creating a safe and healthy workplace where we look out for one another and make sure everyone goes home safe at the end of each day. Your commitment to following our health and safety management system helps us maintain our C-Core certification, meets client expectation, and most importantly, protects you and your coworkers. Thank you for taking this training seriously, for your attention today, and for the pride you bring to your work. Remember, safety starts with you, and together we make Terra Sano a place where everyone can work confidently, safely, and with care.